I viewed 5 flats in one day. Budget £2,150 to £2,350, all in zone 1 or right on the edge. At this price in central London, the gap between a good flat and a bad one is not always obvious from the listing. This batch made that very clear. Here's what I found. The first one is in the heart of Pimlico. On paper, £2,250 is an attractive deal. Well, it wasn't. This flat is super central, but honestly, the pictures made it look better than it actually was. I wasn't allowed to take a video, which I of course respected, but it is a huge red flag. The agent knew I was viewing on behalf of someone else. How are they supposed to take a decision without seeing a video tour? But anyway, my client wasn't gonna like it. Here are the pictures shared in the listing. There is a separate living room, which is not too bad compared to the rest of the flat. Then there is a dated kitchen with cheap flooring. The bedroom is tiny. The carpet needs some attention, the view is not inspiring, and the boiler is in the bedroom as well, which, as some of you pointed out in another video, could be a health issue if it's not maintained properly. And this is the bathroom, which was down a few steps. The good thing here is that there is a window, although I'm not a fan of the sink that is stuck here in the corner. This flat was listed at £2,250 a month, and the agent made it super clear that it was to be taken in this condition. Yes, this price is almost unheard of in this neighbourhood, but it's not worth the risk. It's giving I don't care from the landlord, and that's exactly the kind of person you want to avoid. I wouldn't count on them to fix issues quickly or provide anything that would improve the tenant's quality of life. The next one is almost the opposite. On paper, it ticked a lot of boxes and was very promising. But there is a catch, and it will be obvious the second you see it. It's in the heart of the action. It's literally a 6-minute walk from Waterloo station. First of all, let me show you the amenities, because the building has a concierge, a gym, a swimming pool, a sauna, and a steam room. It honestly felt like I was at a spa. The flat is 50 square meters or almost 540 square feet, and I found the layout interesting. When you get in, there is this hallway with a few stairs leading to the living room and bedroom. On the left, there is the bathroom, which is spacious. It has storage, a bath, it's fully tiled, and there is a big mirror. Then opposite there is the kitchen, which is also very spacious. It has a very distinct style that is common to all the flats in the building. Not ultra-modern, but good standards. There is a large countertop and plenty of storage, an integrated fridge, and a dishwasher as well. Then up the stairs there is the living room with space for a sofa and a dining table. Unfortunately, the compromise here is that we have tiny windows and the view is far from ideal. It's technically a lower ground floor and it's very dark. I know it can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. And finally the bedroom, which is great, spacious and has integrated storage. But here again the view is a real downside. The location and amenities would push the price up, but this flat is listed at £2,250 a month, which is almost unheard of in this neighbourhood. The lower ground floor in this postcode is the only reason why it's even available at this price. The same flat, one floor up, would be £300 more. So if this doesn't bother you too much, this is the best way of being super central while keeping the rent somewhat under control. But for my client who highly values brightness, that was a pass. This was also a classic example of real estate agent strategies. I initially called about another listing. Same price, same building, but a higher floor. On the phone, the agent told me that this one was gone, but that they just got another one in the same building. They just forgot to say that it was much lower value for the same price. This next one is the cheapest of the batch, and it's in Chelsea. This flat is on the 3rd floor of this council block and there is no lift. When you come in, you have this little hallway with hardwood floor and directly on the right, the bathroom. It's fine, nothing incredible, but I like that there is a window and it's in decent condition. I don't like the shower curtain, never like them, and the wall could do with a bit of repainting, but overall it's fine. Then here we have the kitchen, which is not super modern, but it is actually in good condition. We are missing a couple of doors, but there is a big window with a nice view and lots of countertop space and storage. Then there is a separate toilet. Here's the bedroom, which is a very good size and there is lots of storage. Now, this is not the most incredible view, but this is right on the edge of Zone 1, so we can't be overlooking a lake anyway. And this road right in front of the flat is not too busy. So you have the convenience of being close to everything while still being in a relatively quiet space. And then the living room has a beautiful floor and it is a good size, with space for a sofa and a dining table and even a home office area if you want. This flat was listed at £2,150 a month, and the heating and hot water were included, so that's a bonus. It means that it's comparable with a £2,000 a month rent with no bills included. It's not a small difference. At almost 50 square meters or 510 square feet with a 12-minute walk to a tube station, this flat had a lot of pros. I recommend it to my client that we keep it as a backup. And if you want me to do this for you, viewing places, negotiating, and spotting red flags, I'd love to help. You can book a free call with me, the link is below. The next flat was so suspiciously cheap that I almost didn't reach out to the agent, but I'm glad I did. That's exactly how I come across these hidden gems. So this one is right by the Thames, facing Westminster, a 10-minute walk from Vauxhall station. The building is on a quiet street that is not too busy, and the flat is on the first floor with a lift. When you come in, there is a large hallway that opens onto every room. Right on the left, there is the bathroom that is absolutely spotless. You can probably eat off the floor. It's also very spacious with nice tiles, a bath, a shelf and storage. Then here's the boiler with plenty of space for extra storage. Next is the bedroom with a double bed and a bit of storage. The furnishing is slightly random, but it looks like it's in an okay condition. And then here's the living room with an open plan kitchen. The kitchen is great, good amount of storage and countertop space, full-size fridge, dishwasher and washing machine. And on the other side, you have the living room area, which is nice as well. It's very spacious and the style of the furnishing is neutral enough. The flat is 52 square meters total, or 560 square feet, which is rare at this price in central London. Now, the issue with this one is the lack of light. It's a very central first floor flat, so it's hard to avoid. It was listed at £2,300 a month when I saw it, but it stayed on the market for a couple of weeks before being reduced to £2,200 a month, which is extremely cheap for this area of London. This is why I always advise to start your search as early as possible. If you're flexible on your moving date, you'll be more likely to come across rare deals like this one. It was a great find and it's one that I actually recommended to my client. Okay, this next flat has an incredibly rare bonus, you don't want to miss it. This one was a very good surprise. It's right by Lambeth tube station, which is literally a 2-minute walk, and there is a concierge in the building. It's on the first floor with a lift and there is hardwood floor everywhere. When you come in, you have this first storage space where there is the washing machine and the water tank. Then there is the living room, which is very spacious, and here is the open plan kitchen. Not tons of storage, but a decent amount still. Now, as I said, this flat has an incredible bonus. This huge terrace here until the wall is completely private to the flat. You have a great view on the Shard and on greenery, and it's also super quiet because it's not facing the main road. We are at the back of the building. Having an outdoor space like that in central London is extremely rare, so that's a great perk. Back inside, here's another storage space. Now, here's the bathroom, which is a good size, but one thing that I found a bit disappointing is that it's covered with this cheap material rather than proper tiles. It's not a deal breaker in my opinion, but it does impact the overall vibe. And then here's the bedroom, which is spacious and has a whole wall of integrated storage. And there is also access to the terrace from here. This flat is also 50 square meters or 535 square feet, which is great for a flat that is that central. It was listed at £2,350 a month, and although I recommended it to my client, I advised to offer slightly less because of the poor quality of the bathroom. But still a good one overall. Next, I decided to book viewings in South London. You can watch the full video tours here.